text table is also known as the cross tab, right? And it's essentially for presenting data in a tabular format, all right? Like you would do in Excel with pivot tables and all of that. All right, so let's try and build one. Okay, so if we drag our category to the rows, and we also take our subcategory to the rows, all right, you can see we already have something that looks like a table. Let's see what the values of these are. So if we take our sales, for instance, and we drag our sales to the text, okay, so you can see the value of this. Let's take our quantity as well, and we can take it to this one. You will notice I'm not taking that to the text again, like I did for the uh, sales. So if I take it back, if I had taken my quantity to the text, you now see what happens. So my quantity is now being arranged under my sales, and that's not what I want, right? So what I would do instead is that I will take my quantity directly to the table itself on top of the sales, and that's going to arrange it between the beside the sales. All right, let's take our profit as well. Or in this case, since you have this right here, you can take your discount as well, and you can just drop it under here. So now that we have this, we have our table, right, in the tabular form, just like we do have in Excel as well. You can do some arrangements here for the numbers, and you can say, oh, I want to see the sales first, so I can move that up. You can see sales is now the first, quantity is following. Let's have quantity to follow the sales. All right, quantity is following, then the profit, then the discount. All right. So we have now successfully built a text or cross tab in Tableau. All right. Next, let's look at our highlights table. For the highlights table, the difference between a text and an highlight table is for you to spot a difference, right? In your numbers, in the sales or in the profit. So particularly you are looking at all of these numbers, and sometimes if you have a much wider table and a lot of details in here, it might be difficult to see uh, to spot anything, any pattern or something that stands out, right? Because there are a lot of numbers, there are a lot of things going on right here. So for instance, if I make this an entire view, and I just let me stretch this a bit to the right and this a little bit to the right as well. All right, so if I asked you which subcategory is the highest in sales, right? You will probably look from the top down, and before I'm trying to spot it as well, I see 335 right here. Let's see if we have something higher than that. Then we have 331. So it appears this is the highest subcategory, but it took me a while to realize that, right? So what the highlight table does, if I just make a duplicate of this sheet, so I'm going to call this text table. The next one will be highlights table. All right, my highlight is wrong, but just leave it. Let me correct that here. So let's say highlight tables. All right, so we have the same table, but it's difficult to spot anything. And that's the advantage of the highlight table. All right, so what we just want to do is that, let's say we can bring our sales and just drag that to column. And what do we have? All right, so you can see we already have some colors, highlighted in here, right? So what we can do now is that, let's say we want to focus on profit instead. So if I take profit to sales, Okay, and what we can do now is that we can change this from T, which is for text, and we can change that to shape. So if you click on square, we can change that to square. All right. So we have some colors going on. Let's click on color again and just it's difficult to tell where the color stops. So let's just go to border and change that to white. All right, so we can have some distinctions there. All right, so what is this showing us? As you can see the legend on the right hand side as well, is that we have some negative values and we have some positive values as well, because this is profit. So the negative is telling us that, oh, there are some losses. In this case now, compared to the text table that we have here, the difference is clear because we are able to, the color is drawing our attention to some insight already, right? We can already see here that table, uh, the sales is high for table here at 200,000 plus, but we are actually making a loss, right? For this as well. So you might begin to ask some questions. Why is that? Or what happened during the period of that sales? And you can start asking some and doing some analysis, some further analysis. All right. So I hope you now feel more confident in building a text table and highlight table as well.